Below thick ice over 8 feet, strong steel cable, shake violently as if about to break. Pieces of ice popped up, brittle under the terrible pressure. On the white surface, wind sound, the screeching sound of the steel winch hitting the flesh, along with the rumbling sound of the steel winch, signaled that a life and death battle was about to begin. What could make these men willing to risk their lives in minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit, where just a few minutes of exposure is enough to cause blood to clot? The answer lies beneath the ice in the dark world where giant king crabs hide. And then the bigger question arises, why can a single fishing trip, just a few days on the ice, bring in more than $1.2 million? This is the journey to decode one of the most brutal hunts on the planet. The Discover, Alaska's deadliest catch. $1.2 million of king crab pulled through 2.5 meters of ice. Since ancient times, Alaska has always been called the land of darkness and ice. The Eskimos believed that the Chukchi sea god created the cold winds to prevent humans from encroaching on the territory of giant crabs. '18th century explorers recorded that just one night in the open was enough to turn a tent into a block of ice. Today, Alaskan fishermen still venture there, continuing a journey that history and legend have called man's ultimate test of nature. Lurking deep beneath the icy waters of the Bering Sea is a living treasure. The giant king crab. These armored monsters can stretch their legs up to 6 feet, weigh dozens of pounds, and with just a flick of their claws, can put fishermen on edge. A single crab can sell for hundreds of dollars on the market, and when collected by the ton, they can be worth millions. Not only is it a delicacy on the dinner tables of Tokyo or New York, but it is also an economic pillar of all of Alaska. But the harsh truth behind the ice is If production were to drop by just half, this multi-billion-dollar industry could collapse in just one winter. The question is nature generous enough to sustain this dream forever? Or is this just a fragile treasure waiting to disappear? The ice is closing in. Every minute that passes means a lost opportunity. Strong gusts of wind, snowstorm. The ice flakes were thrown like knives. And the fishermen's numb hands trembled from the bitter cold. This is a brutal race where a single moment of delay can leave the entire trip buried in endless winter. question haunting everyone is, will they be able to release all their traps in time, or will they be trapped forever under the fury of the Alaskan ice? The winch screamed and shook violently as the crab pot, weighing hundreds of pounds, began to rise from the cold, black water. On the cracked ice, each fisherman held his breath, watching the cable strain as it seemed about to snap. Then, as the cage was pulled out of the water, the scene exploded. Dozens of giant king crabs burst open, thrashing about. Their nearly 6-foot-long legs reached out of the cage, clawing at the air as if to regain their freedom.
Last day of the trip.
Cheers erupted. The tense breath was finally released.
Weather's finally
But the
come
joy
up.
only lasted for a moment. A haunting question immediately arose. Will this be enough to hit the $1.2 million mark? Or is this just the beginning of an even more arduous hunt ahead?
We on controls and Chris is getting his drone hook ready. Monster crab.
On the cold deck, the flash of victory quickly gave way to the harsh reality. King crab fishing is one of the most dangerous jobs in Alaska.
Everything's a little bit dicier when the weather's tough. Stacking a simple pot. We are stacking 800 pounds of steel. But when the weather's shitty, it doesn't seem to want to go in. I'm barely able to stand up out here while I'm trying to focus the camera.
Every year, dozens of fishermen pay the price with injuries, even their lives. A sudden snap of a taut winch rope can sweep a man into the sea in a split second. Water as cold as 28 degrees Fahrenheit can paralyze the body in less than 60 seconds. There are ships that have completely disappeared in snowstorms, leaving families waiting in despair. Memorial plaques on the harbor are a testament to the hardships that every generation of fishermen has had to face. And despite knowing the risks, they still keep coming back. Because for many, each trip is not only a livelihood, but also a source of pride, a life and death challenge with Alaska's nature. On deck, freshly hauled king crabs are quickly sorted. Large, healthy ones are placed in coolers kept at nearly 32 degrees Fahrenheit to ensure they are alive when they reach port. From small fishing villages along the coast of Alaska, the crabs are transported by refrigerated trucks and then by air to major markets. Tokyo, Seoul, New York, cities thousands of miles away, are the recipients of this treasure. In fancy restaurants, king crab is served as a symbol of luxury. A single crab can cost hundreds of dollars, and a banquet with a full plate of king crab dishes can cost up to several $1,000s. Few people know that to get that high-class dish, there were men who accepted to face the cold, danger, and even death. From the harsh ocean to the brightly lit dining table, king crab's journey is a living testament to the incredible trade-offs. But the question remains, as climate change causes the ice to melt faster each year, will this deadliest catch still exist, or will it remain only a memory?
Wow.
Oh! See, it was eating the cat.
If you think this journey deserves more, please support the channel by subscribe, and turn on notifications. And don't forget to leave a comment. Do you think Alaskan ice fishing will continue in the future, or will it disappear with the melting ice? We'd love to hear from you.